Welcome everybody in the guild. My name is Sean Moffat. I am co-founder of the guild, and we are having 6 events over this last week that we're calling participation showcases. We've had 4 already. This is our 5th event. They're in no priority because I think we place a real premium on learning in the guild and building our craft, and so we're going to be talking about that today. We have done some of our best work in the guild and also some of our most voluminous work in the guild through some of the learning stuff we've done historically. We're going to step up our game this year and have a couple of different formats that are new and unfamiliar to the guild that we're excited about. So we've got a hard Scrabble crew today that have joined us live. We're also going to be posting this to our YouTube channel. So for at least the next 6 months, we can use this as kind of an evergreen asset to tell people what's going on, how do you get involved, all of those different questions people have as they come to learn about different things about our Gray Swan Guild. So we'll go for about 20 minutes. I'll present some stuff in terms of what is the plan on paper, and then we will turn on to the gravel road of conversation as a live audience and go from there. So, and I'm just going to ask maybe if somebody... Is my screen turning? Because in a previous webcast, I had to do the complete new thing. Basiri, give me the thumbs up. Thank you so much. And I think we've got two more people trying to come in. If one of my co-captains can let those people in, that'd be great. So we've I'd love this quote from William Arthur Ward. We've started every one of our participation showcases. Do more than belong, participate. I think that's in large part what we do. Do more than care, help. Do more than believe, practice, and do more than dream, work. I think we've colloquially at some point in time characterized our guild and the ventures that we do as being both a think tank and a do tank, and people love that collection of words in terms of what we're all about. So today, staying focused, we have one mission as a guild. We try to make sense of the world, both current and future, and we do it through 6 facets. Today, we're talking about learning and craft building. I'd love to thank these 18 people. We've now got them fully minted, and their shining faces staring back at us. And as of today, I think we have a 19th person that has joined this roster as well. So, a steering group that have stepped up, playing leading roles in the guild. I have them to thank for in terms of what we're going to talk about today, because in large part, if we're successful as a guild this year, it's going to be based on these 19 soon to be larger group of people, but also the group of people around them, the top 400 to 500 contributors that show up at our stuff, contribute to our stuff, answer our research, and a whole bunch of other things. We are all about participation. So when it comes to learning, I love Hemingway. You can go no wrong with Hemingway, and we're all apprentices in craft where no one ever becomes a master. I think that's what we practice in our guild. My hope is what we're putting on paper here is bringing passionate, intelligent people together with smart, relevant topics in their professional situations through multimedia events and curations with the end outcome of making sense of the world. If you look at the goals of the guild and why people join us, you'll see learning kind of as a shard of thing throughout. It's explicitly at number 5, acquiring relevant learning and broader skill sets, but implied in number 1, in number 2, in number 3, and in number 4 as well. And if I could mute somebody, I think somebody's got some background noise going on. If you could mute your microphones, live audience, that'd be great. So I think learning's a big part of what we do. If I look at where we're trying to take learning and craft building from and to, we've used the episodic event as king in our world. We have this 1 hour, these 2 hours that we do education and learning. I think we're not only going to pivot from that to, yes, the event is still important, but some pre-framing and some post wrap-up being important too. They've tended to be Zoom expert panel discussions. I think we're going to field a variety of different learning experiences this year. They tend to be orphan episodes. My hope is there's some direction that we can provide overall for the full year. They're always 1 hour hits, which have their benefits, but if you want to go really deep on a subject, 1 hour just isn't enough. And so we've got 3 different forms, one that's 1 hour, one that's 3 hours, and one's that is multiple weeks. And then finally, they've been open and experimental. Seriously, we've done some amazing work, and I can't take credit for it because a lot of these have been hosted by some of our craft building faculty. But we want to pivot to something that, yes, is both open but also commercial, and you'll see that in the 2 new things we're doing this year. So we've got 3 core learning efforts. We have about 25 opportunities for people in the guild to dive more deeply and spearhead some of this stuff over the next, call it 18 months, and likely more opportunities over the next 18 months. Over the next 12 months, there's 25 opportunities. So we've got 3 different formats. 1, we have a craft building event series. 2, we have mini master classes that are 3 hours in length. And 3, we've got guild master classes that will be multiple weeks in time. And so the first one, craft building, we've done about 60 of those to date. We'll continue doing those in a slightly different, less chaotic fashion. We're introducing 3-hour mini master classes that really try to get at kind of a sprint of education, and then guild master classes, which by the end of it, you should be certified in something given the mastery of our faculty plus what's being put in front of you. So let's deal with those individually. The craft building event series with our tagline, learning has no finish line. We have been climbing the alphabet here. We have done 4 different kind of topics based on 4 A's and 4 B's and 4 C's. This is the year that we do the N, O, and P's, but we're going to do them in a slightly different way. You know, this is the topic range. It tends to be of what we cover in these different sessions. It's a pretty broad group of behaviors that we cover. This is what was covered in 2023. You know, all of them really interesting and different. I'm not too sure how often you get a group of people that come together to talk about kinesthetics and lying and semantics and mood arousal and leadership and knowledge, but that's what we do. This was Louise's session that she had done June of this year. And obviously you can see some of the intellectual heavyweights of our guild. Chris Van Melkamp, amazing former consultant in South Africa who has written a book, Future Purpose. Louise, who in herself wrote a book later last year. Famza, who just an amazing force of nature in her own right. And Jonathan Powers, one of our top minds in the guild, who is an educator at a great kind of disruptive university called Minerva. So this would be a gold standard for me craft building event, and very meta too. We're learning about learning, right? So we started these in April of 2022. We've done 60 episodes already. We're going to talk about some of the longer form stuff, but really each one of these things ideally will have you know, a panel of individuals, and probably within this year we're looking for a number of different facilitators. I would love to offload some of these education days to somebody that might want to spearhead our entire learning effort. We'll see if somebody surfaces, and hopefully some community ringleading. So that's the first one. I'm going to cover off number 2 and number 3. So master classes, whether they're 3 hours or 9 weeks in line, they have the same purpose of being a curriculum for change agents, visionaries, and planners. They're probably more directly interested in advancing your professional discipline or something that you're trying to broaden yourself into. We are going to launch 3 beta classes of long form master classes on September 7th of this year. We're wrestling with which topics, but we do need about 10 or 11 people to serve themselves up and support this effort. You know, we have a range of topics that we're looking at. We hope to start to begin the beta program development and then get those up on a website. There's about, having done this about 2 years ago in my innovation sphere, there's about 40 questions that we need to answer to make sure that these master classes go off with great fanfare. And so we're looking for 3 faculty on each one of these programs. We're looking for about 50 people to attend each one of these sessions, and it's a commercial opportunity. Certainly we'll offer discounted rates for members of the guild, but safely, we're talking about four-figure tuition fees, and on the other side of it, anybody that shows up, I'm sure, will be enhanced and augmented by the brilliance that was in front of them. These are some of the topics that we're looking at. We're wrestling with about 5 of them. I can tell you what's on the shop floor right now is things around leadership and culture, things around innovation and business models, things around technology and AI and disruption, things around sense-making complexity, and we have a book, Uncertainty, that could, in some respects, be the playbook for that. We may also look at whatever the book is that we're launching this year. And I think one of the other ones we looked at was futures thinking and foresight. So those are the 5 topics that we're kind of landing on as themes to our September. We just got to land on probably 3 of them. My hope is we can also pull off a variety of different learning experiences. I find people, global entities that try to pull these exercises off, they go in with the thinking that, okay, we'll give you a whole bunch of recorded videos from these experts. We'll provide you some quizzes. Maybe we'll meet once, and then you'll get certified with a piece of paper that says you're great, which for me seems rather shallow and probably not serving either the guild master nor the guild apprentices in terms of what they've learned. In terms of ancillary stuff, I know I've looked at about 5 or 6 other kind of people that host these type of forums within my innovation circles. Here are their logos, and here's what other ancillary things they tend to get involved when they do this stuff. So we walk into this with eyes open that these are kind of resource heavy, but also interesting from what they may lead to as well. So from a learning and craft standpoint, less from the long form masterclasses and more from the craft building and shorter form masterclasses. We're going to gang all of these up on one day. So we're going to have 4 education days this year. You see the dates there: April, June, September, and November. As you can see, we've got 2 different masterclass or 2 different craft building series denoted by the N or the O topics. 1 different masterclass, and then we've put a TBD in there because somebody may actually query us and say, hey, I've got a really good 3-hour topic or 1-hour topic on this. Do you think we could host that on this education day? So we're allowing for 1 member-driven opportunity to come into our fold. And like we've done in each one of our sessions, the summary of what you get from this, my hope is there's a reputation bump and some dollars associated with doing some of this work. We give you a guild audience, peers, and obviously students that come into our world, both a tech backbone, some event experience, and some influence, collaborators in a team and panel. My hope is, and this is a real challenge sometimes with people that have a real track record of great experience and great knowledge, that we hope we're producing new IP here by the fact that we're bringing 3 collaborators together in 1 masterclass. My hope is it's just not you doing something and putting a new wrapper on it. My hope is it's the confluence of 3 great minds coming together where 1 + 1 = 3 and 3 + 1 = 7. We're giving you content channels, an opportunity to lead and influence, proximity to a lot of really interesting things, hopefully an enjoyable experience, and hopefully being able to get after some of your intrinsic and extrinsic needs. What you hopefully can give in return is living our values of aspiration, collaboration, curiosity, and purpose. We hope is there's a professional integrity to what we do. It's even got a finer point on it this year, given the fact that we're charging real dollars, and therefore real reputation is at stake here. My hope is you can put student and guild gain just as much as any kind of personal gain you could come out of this. I've added this one into our learning circle about just having an openness and comfort with ambiguity. The world is all about change. This is also an arena where you're going to be working with other people and collaborating. My hope is there's a comfort with that as well. And at the end of the day, let's have some fun and have a great experience. We're going to break out to our live audience discussion in a minute. But before we cut the recording on this, 5 anticipated FAQs. How do I get involved? We're going to share with you a couple of different links. Obviously, getting in touch with myself in terms of getting you in the right circles might get you into the most direct spaces. But over the next 4 weeks, we're looking to land on who are the people on the roster of faculty that are going to pull this off. Can I just put a new wrapper on my existing work? Yes and no. First of all, just to be very clear, if it becomes part of our circle, we want kind of a right in perpetuity to use that in a Creative Commons way. It's still your work, but we would love to be able to tap it for our audience and our guild. Two, if you're collaborating with other people, we've had people come into our midst go, it's got to be my way. And unfortunately, that's probably not the most collaborative spirit. And so there's probably some shaping of some of the stuff that you've worked with in the past, even though it's probably brilliant. What is your learning ambition? My hope is we're creating people that, in true guild spirit, become closer to becoming masters of the craft, in whatever that is. So very broad answer, but that's what we're trying to do. Who is your audience? We're looking at a group of professional people across a range of different public and private and not-for-profit environments. It's a global audience. Um, Everybody is allowed to join these things, but I would suspect that some of these people, if they're certainly paying for it, will be of a certain professional rank and caliber that demand this type of broadening for their lives. And then what ancillary services could be part of this? There's a range of things that we could do. We could service if somebody comes into our midst and they want to bring this into their corporate sphere. We can extend into that. If you want to do this next year as well, well, if we're successful, we're going to have a broader range of classes, including the one that you just did. And so there's a lot of different ancillary things that we can get into. I'm going to copy this for my live audience, but there's a range of different links you can get to. You can certainly contact me directly or set up a meeting. We do have a participation register where you can just declare your name and put it on there and against whatever venture or initiative that you were looking at. If you're completely new to the guild, we have 3 different places to sign up, either as an official member, as a person that's interested in becoming a venturist, or a global sense maker, which is more kind of a research and intelligence motivation. And obviously this month we are updating our website to reflect all these new activities. And so you can see probably an updated version of this world, including these videos on our participation showcase series as part of our YouTube channel that is Swan branded. This will likely be a t-shirt this year if we get our way. But certainly we're going with the notion that, don't be an ostrich, be a Swan. Think about possibility, think about change, think about embracing a world that is pivoting underneath your feet. And so lastly, but not leastly, this is the 5th of 6 different sessions. We have one more tomorrow, Friday, February 16th at 10 a.m. Eastern time. We're talking about ventures tomorrow. We've split out a Cygnus Ventures group that, as for-profit opportunities arise, we have about 10 of them. We're going to be talking about those tomorrow. And then we'll be recapping all of these as mentioned on YouTube. So I'm going to break to our live audience, but for those that might be leaving us and consuming this over the next 6 months, my hope is you understood a little bit more about what we're doing in our learning craft building. We've given you the tools at play to see what topic ranges there are, and also a way to actually join and declare your interest. And my hope is, if that's the case, then we'll be seeing many of you in later February and March as we try to get these off the ground. So thank you for joining us. We'll be seeing you in the future, and I will break for the live audience now.